Good morning, beloved. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is that you are watching the broadcast. Hello, 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 hello. It is wonderful connecting with you, saying hi, hello. How do you do? What is happening? What's going on with you? Blessings, 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 and more blessings. I speak unto you. For those who will be live, yes, 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 let's do it. For those who will hashtag and replay it, I love it. For those who will be on, I don't know you on, and I might not never know you on, I could appreciate that. And for those who will be used by God at some point down the road to encourage this girl, let's make it do what it do. Let's make it do what it do. Let's make it do what it do. All right, all right. We are at the end of the week, and we have been talking about this notion of healthy communication. Healthy communication. What does that look like for you? What is the experience of healthy communication? Um, do you engage in healthy communication? Where do you need to grow as it relates to healthy communication? All the things, right? All the things, all the questions, all the ponderings. And good morning, Cuckoo. Good morning. So good to see you. I love you right back. We all get to do it, right? We all get to grow in all different ways, all different kinds of ways. But today we're talking about, or this week we've been talking about growing in our ways of healthy communication, like how we communicate and making sure that we're growing in that way. And so today we're on the when. When do we communicate in a healthy manner? The obvious, always, more often than not, as much as we can, right? We don't want to. Let me, oh, all right. We want to always have the intention. We want to always have the intention of communicating in a healthy way. We don't want to, like, I don't, so two things. It certainly makes no sense to me that we would intend to not communicate in a healthy way. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. But it also, but I think where many of us could find ourselves in this communicating in an unhealthy way is because we're unaware. We are unaware. Perhaps we have not gotten feedback. Perhaps we've not gotten feedback that our communication method is unhealthy, right? Perhaps we've not gotten that kind of feedback. Or we've gotten the feedback and we just haven't received it. We've chalked it up to that person doesn't know what they're talking about, or, you know, we couldn't receive it from the person, or we couldn't receive it because we're not the kind of person who receives feedback easily. So I'm just saying, we, um, knowing how your communication is received in general. Now, I'm not speaking because, like, you could have a communication challenge with one person and not have a communication challenge with anyone else. It's probably the one person, right? Or it's probably your dynamic with the one person, right? It has more to do with that occurring than it is that that's your communication style. If you don't get that feedback from nowhere else, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So, yeah, it could be a combination. I definitely have had that experience before. And yeah. And um so when do we practice healthy communication? Again, that's an obvious answer. at all times. But let me just talk about a specific time. When the communication is a difficult conversation, when we're really challenged, when our emotions are involved, that's when we want to put in extra effort at a healthy communication. When it is a difficult conversation, when emotions are high. If emotions are too high, we don't want to have the most healthy thing we could do is to not have the conversation at the moment. Everybody walk away, come back when we can have a healthier conversation, when emotions are that high. It ain't gonna work. 9 times out of 10, unless those emotions get under control, your amygdala is taking over and your prefrontal cortex is probably offline. Your thinking brain, your executive functioning part of your brain is probably offline. And you are saying things that you regret. You're saying things that you regret. You know? So, anyhow, that's what I think. I think that it's important to what's I going to say? I think it's important. My mind is somewhere else. That's so funny. Anyway, I think healthy communication is important no matter what. Healthy communication is important no matter what. I think it really behooves us to function from that space, that we take the time to know what does it look like to communicate for us in a healthy manner. I think that without healthy communication, we don't get to live the fullest life that we could possibly live. I don't think we do. I think, hey Erica, good morning, honey bun. I love you right back. We will find ourselves tripping over the same things, right? Running into the same difficult situation over and over and over again. And so if we stop and check in with ourselves and ask ourselves, often healthy communication, unhealthy communication is happening because of some level of fear. Like we're afraid of something. We're not saying what's true for us because we're concerned about how it might come out. We're concerned about how a person will respond. We're concerned about what the relationship is going to be like after, all the things. We're concerned about being rejected. We're concerned all the things. And so we don't speak the truth. Like we don't speak our whole truth. We give a partial piece of the story, and then it just leaves things unsaid and things swept under the rug. And eventually the rug is like a big old mountain of unresolved issues, right? A big old mountain of unresolved issues. So I just sincerely invite us to check with ourselves first. Check to see how we communicate with ourselves. And so do you speak life to yourself? Let me tell you, over here on this zone, it's a no-fly zone. As far as negative conversation or speaking death to me, or what's the way I usually say it is so dogging myself out, or it's another way I typically say it, but that's a no-fly zone. We don't get to talk to me any kind of way. Nobody, not me. I don't care what has happened. We don't get to talk to her in a very negative, aggressive, oh no, beloved. Not nobody. And I can't control what other people do, but I can control what I say in. And if I ever am in a relationship where there is aggressive conversation, even if it's aggressive conversation toward themselves, I'm going to invite them to not do that. But I do realize that I don't get to control what other people do with themselves. I will invite them to not do that. But if it starts to come to me, no, y'all, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We can have hard conversations. We can have difficult conversations. We can't have nasty, you know, cut you off at the knees, chop you on the throat kind of conversations. Nope. I will politely bow out. I'm never going to say, like, you can't talk to me like that, because you can. I can't stop you. I can decide if I'm going to engage with you, though. I can decide if I'm going to stay in the conversation. And I'm not. I am a big walk awayer. I will. I will only fight if I have to. If it's absolutely necessary for me to fight, I will. Not because I want to, but because there's danger and I've got to defend myself or someone else who can't defend themselves. Then it's on. I mean, there are no other choices. If there are no other choices, there are no other choices. My preference is to not. That's my preference all day and all night. My preference is to have a conversation where we come to a resolution, even if the resolution means that we walk away. Even if the resolution means that we're done. I'm okay with that, if that's what it needs to be. So I am not that person who is interested in the aggression of it all. But I will get aggressive from a self-defense perspective because I have to. Now, I'm going to use every avenue to not, though, because I just believe that there's a better way and that more often than not, it is not necessary. More often than not. So I'm huge on life-giving conversations. I'm huge on, let's try this again. Let's stop. Let's go. Let's regroup. Let's get it together. Let's come back when we can have a life-giving conversation. Those things they matter to me. Right? But it does take two. And if one person is not willing to have a life-giving conversation, all you can do is the best you can do and let it be what it is. And let it be what it is. And so, when should we have healthy communications? Always. There's never a time when unhealthy communication is appropriate, as far as I'm concerned. I'll do it. As far as I'm concerned, there is never a time when when we might say, yo, okay, now is the time that we engage in unhealthy communication. Nope. Life is simply richer when we are engaged in healthy communication. Right? Speak the truth in love. Be more transparent than not. Be more authentic than not. Be kind. There's a powerful poem that says, it's in my book, as a matter of fact. I wrote it in my book. I didn't write the poem. The poem was written in the here we go. Poem was written. Oh, I didn't write the date. Also, I didn't write who wrote it. Oh, I was going to say, that's not like me to not write the information. It was written in 1872 by Marianne Pikeskar. And it says, the name of the poem is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Now, this is Old English language, so it might sound a little off. But oh, stay, dear child, one moment stay. Before a word you speak that can do harm in any way to the poor or to the weak, and never say of anyone what you not have said of you. Or you ask yourself the question, is the accusation true? And if it's true, for I suppose you should not tell a lie before the failings you expose of friend or enemy. Yet even then be careful, vary, pause, and your words well weigh, and ask if it be necessary what you're about to say. And should it be necessary, be at least you deem it so, yet speak not unadvisedly of friend or even foe, till in your secret soul you seek for some excuse to find, and the thoughtless words you speak. Ask yourself, is it kind? When you have asked these questions, three, true, necessary, or kind, ask them in all sincerity. I think that you find it is not hardship to obey the command of our blessed Lord, no ill of any man to say. No, not a single word. So, really, it's like when having a conversation, ask yourself, is it true? Are you spreading lies? Or do you know this to be the truth? And then, is it necessary to have this conversation? And then, is it kind? Is it kind? Is it kind? Kind is not nice. Look up the difference between kind and nice. Nice, we don't say things because we're concerned about what they're going to say. We're worried about niceties and platitudes and all of that. But that is not what serves us best. Kind over nice every day. It's funny, it popped up on my phone. The kinder voice, not louder than the critic yet, but getting stronger every time you choose. The kinder voice is not louder than a critic yet, but it's getting stronger every time you choose. That just popped up on my phone. So again, it's alignment. That's just alignment. Getting kinder every time you choose to be kinder. Good morning, cousin. All is well. I pray the same with you. I love you. I love you. Good morning, Ray Price. Right. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. God is Friday. Yep. And yep. Eric, I'm gonna call you after you get off. Gotta ask you a question. So is it true? Is it net? If it's true, okay. That's one check. Is it necessary? That's one other check. Is it kind? Is it kind? Because if it's not, we ought not to be having the conversation. Right? We ought not to be having the conversation. So, So I invite us to that, to that kind of healthy communication, y'all. We are concluding our week on healthy communication. Who should communicate in a healthy manner? All of us. Why should we? Because we have better relationship with ourselves and others. And when should we? At all times. Okay, I am past the top of the hour. I did not realize that. I love you. I appreciate you. I value you at the moment that God gave us our breath. Me and you, we forfeited, we relinquished. You and I, we gave up the right to not be amazing. You are amazing. Have a fantastic weekend. I will see you Monday. Bye-bye now.